I did used to be a DS2 defender. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Everybody makes mistakes. You got me. You didn't get me? Just go, just go, just go, just go. You can make it, you can make it, you can make it, you can make it, you can make it. We're in. Quick sip. Crunch. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You know, I know you're rushing me. Hitboxes. Bam! Right in the spinal cord. 2 of them right in the hip. Not today, sir, alone. What are you gonna have for lunch? It's a good question. I really need to go grocery shopping. Depending on how long I stay alive, I may just get a Chipotle burrito, slam it into my face, and then be fully nutrated. Why not a bowl? Honestly, I very much disagree with the burrito bowl sentiment. I think a burrito tastes better than a burrito bowl, and the tortilla is a nice pillowy package for it. I think the discourse about a burrito bowl being better to eat is insane. I will say, probably better to eat on stream, and also much better for you. The idea that it's just superior is true insanity to me. That's my thought. These are food takes I can agree with. Oh, hell yeah. But the thing, people are like, you could just get tortillas on the side and usually they're free. Yeah, but like a tortilla with little burrito stuff on it is not the same as a burrito. You get the burrito demonstrates how diversity is the true flavor of life. Because when you bite in, sometimes you get a bite that's an amalgam of all the flavors, and you're like, this is heaven. Sometimes you bite in, and you just get brown rice and a little pico de gallo, and you're like, you know what? The surprise made that thrilling as well. Sometimes you bite in, and you just hit a pocket of cheddar cheese, and you're like, I shouldn't like it, but I do. It's good. It's a loot box meal. Every bite's a little bit different. When did you last eat a glizzy? I ate because I mean a glizzy is a hot dog, right? Is that correct? When we got our grill, we grilled some glizzies. I like a hot dog. Oh my god. I had a Costco glizzy. It was the worst thing on the planet. I mean, I disagree. I feel like the Costco glizzies are pretty okay. I mean, Martian girl attacks. We're in different boats here. If you're buying a burrito bowl with a tortilla on the side and then rolling your own burrito because you don't trust Chipotle to do it for you, that really feels like that's just too much work at that point. That's true insanity. It's like ordering a disassembled sandwich from Subway. It's too much. Worth it? I don't believe so. But I am also busy. I mean, it's one of those things where I would definitely conversationally try to put the person through the ringer. Like, if they got a burrito bowl, tortillas on the side, and then rolled up their own burrito, I would ask them so many questions while they were doing it, that by the time they finished, they would either stop and never do it again, or they would be so confident in their beliefs because they will have tackled assaults from every rhetorical angle that they will be 1,000% confident in their methodology. This run, dude. So here's what I'm thinking. Now, we fight him. I hate to despawn him, but I think realistically that's the short term. That's the long-term play, I should say. Maybe we sprint on the second one. But the first room, I think we fight him one at a time. At least this guy. It's not like they're strong, so... Sometimes I want to eat bougie nachos with an order of crisps. Or chips. When you say chips, are we speaking in the English sense or in the... Are they tortilla chips? I like a bougie nacho, don't get me wrong. Who doesn't? Cheeky. So, here's a question for you. Why are you using life gems? They're relatively cheap. That's the kind of thing that'll make you uninstall the game right there. They're relatively cheap. And if we're going to go through all this work of trying to despawn them, my personal philosophy is like, why not have Estus left when we get in there? And then maybe we won't even have to go through the process of despawning these fools. Now this guy, I don't think you have to despawn this guy. It just, like, sucks. I just can't imagine why you would make this area. Do you play a Sicilian defense? No. I'm being straight up with you. If I played Clubhouse games and I was the white pieces, if I did E4 and they responded with C5, I would actually resign the game right there. You can take your free win. I don't want to play a closed, like, strategic game. You know, if it's in a tournament or something, you gotta do whatever you gotta do, right? But if it's for fun, if somebody hit me with C5 and tried to close the game up so that knights are worth more than bishops, I'm out. And I'm not being insincere. I would actually I'd rather close the game. If you don't respond to my E4 with E5, get out of here. The only thing I'm saying about the Sicilian defense, if you didn't call it the Sicilian defense, if instead you called it like Bob's opening, it would probably be played about 80% less often. I think people think the word Sicilian sounds cool, and then they want to play it. If you called it Bob's Gambit. What are you doing up here? Let me give them both barrels. Oh good, it's a rusted coin. He's so fast. Oh, yeah, there's two of you? Really? Sip. Incredible. Incredible sip. I thought for sure I was yeeted. No, I believe the salamanders also respawn. It's alright. It's okay. This is an Austin Powers moment. I cannot believe that we have been playing Dark Souls 2 for so long, dude. Don't. Just don't, okay? I'm almost there. Just let me go, dude. Like, why is this game so long? You think this is EverQuest? This is the worst. I hate so much about the things you choose to be. How long has it been since you had fun playing this game? I mean, Fume Night was fun. Who was the boss before Fume Night? Like, I'm not just being the guy, oh, Blue Smelty. No, he was not that fun. But I'm not being that guy who's like, you know, everything about Dark Souls 2 sucks. Fume Night was sick. Before Blue Smelter was Poison Dragon. Oh, son of a bitch. Alright. That was also not my favorite fight. I'm willing to admit that. How much do you think playing so many Dark Souls games back to back has affected your enjoyment of 2? It has affected my enjoyment of 2 a lot. Not because I'm burned out on Dark Souls, but because Dark Souls 3 is so much better than Dark Souls 2. That really, like, it compares so unfavorably. I think if you played them years apart, you would be like, you know, hey, it's pretty good. Like, I think if you played 2 after 1, and you used not just Sastis, you'd be like, it's okay. But 3 before 2 is not the right way to do it. Three is better mechanics-wise, 2 is better story-wise. Look, I just disagree. But I'm also gonna go a little harder and say, like, I think that's insane. I did see somebody that was like, the themes of Dark Souls 2 are themes that resonate with me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Admittedly, I haven't been reading all the item descriptions, but like, the only story I know about this game is the Emerald Herald, and then also, every 3 hours, Aldea shows up and goes like, you're looking at my flames, aren't you? You're looking at my flames, aren't you? And I'm like, I'm not looking at your flames, dude. And he's like, well, if you look at my flames, one day you may be consumed by them. And I'm like, I don't know. Why are you so weird? That's bad. Quick sip. Not a great sip, quite frankly. At least get one. At least get one so he despawns faster. People like Dark Souls 2 because of the world design. That's a lie, though, right? Don't people hate the world design of this game? Because instead of being a straight line, it's a grid. And then also, people... And I still don't think this is a complaint that I care about at all. But, like, the fact that you take the elevator up to go to the lava. I thought this is something people did not enjoy. So Dark Souls 3, and I mean, we have this conversation every time. Because there's only two conversations. Anytime you criticize Dark Souls 2, there's only 3 comments. Yeah, Lamau, which admittedly is like 90%. And then the other ones are like, well, if you were using a sword instead of a cestus, you would believe that it's the greatest game ever made. And I'm like, I'm just tired of answering that one. But if that's your opinion, then that's fine. And then the other one is, I forgot. Oh, the other one is, Dark Souls 3 story being circle jerky, which I think I held that opinion prior to playing Dark Souls 3. After playing Dark Souls 3 like 3 months ago, I felt like I understood the story a little bit more. And I thought it was kind of like a greatest hits. Less than like remember this. I thought it was like a little fan servicey, but kind of like decent payoff in that regard, I guess. And also, it honestly, I'm just gonna say it. The atmosphere of Souls games is really good, but the story, I don't want to say it's bad, but it's more like, you know, N/A. You know what I mean? Like, the story doesn't exist until you, like, beat the game, and then you look up everything after it and be like, oh, that's what that meant. I think the tone and atmosphere are awesome, but the story is, like, so optional. Give me a double sip here. So I really, like, Dark Souls 3, sure, I don't really fully comprehend everything about the story and how this boss fits in and blah, blah, blah. But the mechanics are so much better than either of the other two, quite frankly. But that's okay. No! The Dark Souls 2 defender has logged on. How does Dark Souls 3 compare with Bloodborne? I mean, I feel like Dark Souls 3 is very good. I like Bloodborne a little bit more. Mostly because it's just a novel setting and atmosphere. Here's a question, because so many people are like, you're wrong, if you weren't using fists, you'd love the game. If Dark Souls 2 is so great, why have they never made a Dark Souls 2? You know what I mean? If this game's so great, it's been 6 years, why have they basically abandoned all of the mechanics they tried out for the first time? Ipso facto. Suppose you make a Dark Souls 2 and release it to the free market. It must naturally follow that the number of people that pick it up combined with an assessment of the aggregate critical response would indicate the direction that you'd go in the future. And if you agree with this, it follows naturally from that, then... This bit is very cursed. That's why I love it. Okay, you just gotta... It's full power, full aggression. Nope. Oh, you got a real problem on your hands, mister. Honey, you got a big storm coming. I feel like Elden Ring may never come out. For me, and I have no expertise on this subject at all, but for me, that is starting to smell like a game that is in development for 12 years. Cyberpunk's gonna be delayed again. You got me on an acerbic tangent, I will admit. But all I'm gonna say... Oh my god, he beat me back. Incredible. All I'm gonna say about that is that reading the replies to every Cyberpunk tweet on Twitter makes me wonder why people choose to work professionally in game development when they could put their talents to use elsewhere. Every tweet, without fail, makes me want to die. People literally tweet shit at them like, why are you tweeting this? Like, they tweet to the PR team. Why are you tweeting when you should be developing the game? And then they go, you know, very tongue-in-cheek, because you can't call your customers idiots. But I can call their customers idiots. Very tongue-in-cheek, they go, well, PR and game dev are on different sides of the industry. And then some Melvin, who's got the highest grade in 10th grade mathematics, goes, well, yes, but speaking rationally, they could pull resources from the social team and then put it on the development team, and then the game would be done that much faster. And then someone will reply and be like, you don't know what you're talking about. And like 100 people reply to that tweet, and they go, nah, he's right. If you subtract from something and add it to something else, it becomes bigger. There we go. Get in there. Serve forever alone. Okay. That's no good. That's no good. We were in there a little bit, though. We got 10% of his HP done. And then, like, people also seem to believe that the game studio is delaying the game for sport. Like, they seem to think that they delay the game just to get one over on the gamers, which is truly comical. People literally tweet them stuff like, you know, if you delay this game again, I'm never gonna support you with my money. It's not every time they delay it by like 6 weeks, they're screwing up their whole fiscal year. Anyway, you know that those people are gonna buy it anyway. It's just truly insane to me what people dedicate their time and energy to on social media. Like, you will like buy food. You like work at a job, buy food, cook the food, which takes time, and then use the energy from that meal to just say dumb shit online. Like, what's wrong with you? So it's a lot of work just to say some dumb shit. It's truly incredible. Can you lion strat this area? You can, but it's slightly, at least in our limited experience, it's slightly unreliable, which is why I'm trying to at least pick up and knock out a couple of these guys forever. What hobbies should I pick up to turn my life around? Well, like, I don't have an answer for you. Except, can I get Pepe hands in chat, please? But I said it in an Isaac episode. I'm not sure, like, if it's gone live yet. But if you don't work in the game industry and you spend... I mean, I'm just going to give you, like, my hard and... Like, not hard and fast. My very loose rule. If you don't work in the game industry and you spend, like, more than a couple hours a day posting about the games industry, you gotta find something else to fill your time with. I'm begging you. It's not that having hobbies is stupid. It's just that, like, this is not the one you should be sinking all your time into. You should maybe, if you could post like 15 minutes a day, and then, you know, maybe just like read, or like start doing like light workouts or something like that. I'm telling you, it'll be better. You'll be mad now that I said it, and you'll be happier in like a month. In a month, you're gonna be like, that was good advice, and I'm glad I took it. Alright, why don't you just kill me then? I got a knock on the door. Just give me a moment, please. I'm back. Oh. I am going to extremely quickly order a burrito, and we will race the burrito. We will see who can make it here. We'll see. Oh, to be honest, I'll probably be alive a little bit post burrito as well. Not bowl. Regular burrito, please. And I gotta be honest, I do love the carnitas. I love the barbacoa. In a burrito, I like a chicken. I'm a chicken burrito sort of guy. I know it seems basic. I've eaten all sorts of exotic meats. I love that this is moving the Dark Souls camera. I've eaten all sorts of exotic meats. I really think in a burrito, I like chicken, quite frankly. It's for me. Give me a little bit of that. You know what? Let's cut the quarantine chub. We will not get chips and guacamole with it. We're gonna be the change I want to see in the world. I'm just gonna go camless for a moment here. Amazing restraint. Keep the change. I would love to add some kind of beverage, because this is a very small order, and I feel bad making somebody, like, drive or bicycle just to deliver a single burrito. But I don't really want to get, like, a bottle of water, so I think I'm just sending it, dude. That feels weird. You know what? Screw that. It's a $10 burrito. The whole order's gonna come to $19.44? Absolutely not. I'd rather starve. I'd rather starve. You've lost your damn mind. That's true insanity. I'm a man of my principles. Now, if Kate was like, I'm going to get a burrito, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah. Get the chips and guac. I mean, it's a well-known philosophy, right? You know, if you're ordering delivery, the bigger the order, the less the delivery charge hurts you psychologically. So if you got like, you know, if you're ordering 6 meals and the delivery fee is like $3, obviously your tip's gonna be higher, but you're splitting it 6 ways. But if you're ordering like 1 meal, it's like double the price. That's insanity. Don't even. Don't even. Also, I have heard that they make the, and by heard, I don't mean like hearsay. I mean like from CBC's Marketplace expose, that the delivery apps raise the menu. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Don't hit me! They raise the menu prices in the online menu as well. So, like, can somebody... does anybody here live in Canada that has ordered from Chipotle recently? The chicken burrito was $10.50 Canadian. Hello. Does anybody know what price it is on the normal Canadian menu? I feel like it might be $10.50, but it might be like $9. $10.50 does sound roughly right, I will admit. Just let me in, dude. You know what, you son of a bitch? You got me. You got me. You know what? Thanks to you, DoorDash/Uber Eats, instead of that, I will drive to Subway after the stream is over and eat a foot-long calorie log. That's what you've done to me. You've forced me into a situation where I have no choice but to eat 12 inches of cold cuts. How dare you? How dare you? Subway strike's been over for a while. They lost in court, and as far as I'm concerned, that represents, you know, the end of my watch. The justice system served its purpose. I'm a boycotter, but I'm not like I'm not one of those people who's like, I'm gonna boycott you forever, for everything, you know? I'll boycott you for a little bit, and then, you know, when the cause of the boycott has expired, you know, it's time for me to interface with the business again. Except Ford. Well, Ford is like, our car sucks. So here's my caveat for that. If you buy something for $30,000 and it's a piece of shit and it's junk, and everybody else that owns one online is like, this is a piece of shit and it's junk, then you can be mad at that company forever. No matter how good the Ford brand gets, it would take a lot to get me back into the fold. So don't get me wrong, the new Bronco looks cool, completely impractical for my purposes, of course. No, no, no! I mean, like, my thought right now, and it's just an honest question. I own a Ford Focus, right? So I'm owning that right off the bat. Why would you ever buy a Ford Focus over like a Toyota Camry or a Honda Civic or like, I don't know, a Kia Forte unless you were racist? That's my honest question to you. Is there a, like, on paper, every single, except maybe, like, I don't even know what cars beat the Focus, at least from that era. Why did I buy it? Because at the time, it was the first dealership we went to, and after... I'm not going to defend this, by the way, but, like, Kate was like, we should get a car, and I was like, I don't really want to do, like, all the research on it. I'd rather just get, like, a decent one, and my parents owned Fords growing up, you know, the first dealership we went to, we test drove the Focus, and I was like, this seems like a car. It's pretty much how it went down, so we bought it. Definitely would not recommend. No, my parents are not racist. In fact, in 2005, which is 10 years before we bought our Focus, they bought a Honda Accord, and I went, hey, like, why did you stop buying Fords? This is, like, after I bought ours. And they were like, oh, because it kind of sucked, and the Honda just has a much better reliability track record. So, really, I should have asked that question before we bought the car. I really should have just purchased either a Civic or an Accord or a Camry. Or a Mazda. Either of those, any of those, I should say, would have been pretty sick. Or a Maserati. That's a good one. My Accord was hit by a bus and it still ran fine after that. Well, I do want to say as well, like, the other thing is, like, the car is not super shitty. It's not like when you drive it, it just blows up. But it has a known issue with the transmission on the automatics, where the gear shifting, which is handled by, like, the system, obviously, is incredibly jerky. So you'll be driving at, like, slow city speeds, and it goes like, wah, 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 wah. There's nothing you can do about it. It runs like a washing machine, right? That in and of itself is not like... It's not like it's a non-functional product, although it is still unacceptable. But then, the corporate memos that got released during the class action lawsuit, during the discovery of the class action lawsuit, literally there's like pages and pages of emails from engineers that are like, hey, like from 2012, that are like, hey, the transmission's really shitty. Could we maybe put some resources in this to fix it? And then emails from executives that are like, shut the fuck up. We gotta get this shit out the door like yesterday. So it's not even just that it's poorly made, quite frankly. It's also that there was like a culture of, you know, corporate cover-up surrounding it. So I don't know if anybody that, I mean, probably people that worked on the Focus project are still there, but you know what I mean. You know, it's the same reason, to be honest, that I would think twice before I buy a Volkswagen. Like on a corporate level, I would no longer feel good about supporting the Ford Corporation. I wouldn't feel good about supporting Volkswagen after the, you know, Dieselgate, which is why I'm still trying to reconcile this whole Tesla situation we got, where my wife wants a Tesla, but I think Elon Musk is the world's most immature, you know, 52-year-old man. But, you know, no, I'm not gonna hold the Second World War over Volkswagen. It's been a long time. That's one where I'm like, I'm not saying like we're cool. I'm just saying like that was long enough ago where I'm like, times have changed. Help me. Hitbox porn. I have heard that the VW cars and brand are very good, though. I mean, my friend owned a VW Golf from like the 2000s that was pretty sick. My Jetta is garbage. I don't know that much about cars, clearly. The brand isn't good. My car got reclaimed for them cheating a smog test. Well, that's the one controversy I'm referring to, yes. I've heard good things about Subaru as well. I've heard great things about... oh, he despawned, dude! I've heard great things about Mazda. No, zoom, zoom! You don't have to highlight your message for 660. I saw it earlier. The thing is, when I said... I didn't call Ford owners racist, because that would be calling me racist. I just said, like, if you're a person who knows cars and you buy a Ford, I would have some questions for you. I'd be like, you didn't think about buying a Japanese car? Didn't even cross your mind? Brand loyalty does go a long way, which is the other reason I will never purchase another Ford product, is that, like, even we would call the Ford dealership and we'd be like, hey, our transmission's jerky again, and they would be like, oh no, like, you want to take that in and see if we can fix it for you? And I'd kind of be like, you know, it's this known issue that, you know, it's already settled the class action lawsuit in America for it. So, like, I don't think you can fix it. Like, all these documents say you can't fix it. So we just kind of stopped taking it in for maintenance. Which actually ended up not being the right play. Because, like, we took it in for maintenance a few times, and they were like, we fixed it, and then it was not fixed. So we stopped taking it in, and then in the class action lawsuit when it settled, it was like the number of times that you took it in for maintenance determined your compensation. So it's like if you took it in for maintenance like 12 times, Ford had to pay you $5,000 or something ridiculous. I'm tempted to not get Nintendo products because of Joy-Con drift. The Joy-Con drift, it pisses me off, I'll admit. Apparently there is a home fix. Like, let's just say the obvious. There shouldn't have to be a home fix, but if it works, then maybe it's not so bad for you. But this is one of the only Nintendo products I've ever bought where I've been like, the craftsmanship is very bad. Oh my god, we actually dodged a couple of arrows. Yeah, like, it wasn't that bad when Animal Crossing came out. But then, like, by the time I had played Animal Crossing for, like, a month, I couldn't mine rocks anymore, which was insanely annoying. And then, like, so we're at the point in Clubhouse, if I'm playing in handheld mode, some of the games are legitimately unplayable. This is not great. Like, any game that's Joy-Con only is unplayable. But then even the games that I can use the D-pad for, it defaults to whatever the last piece of, or the last input method you used. Don't swing. That was a bad one. So, like, if you're playing, like, chess and you're using the D-pad, it'll switch to the Joy-Con if you ever use the Joy-Con. But because of the Joy-Con drift, it always thinks that the Joy-Con is moving. So it, like, you'll just lose control constantly. So I think, like, the Joy-Con drift is a sincere problem. What if you just get a Pro controller? What if they just made hardware that worked? I mean, I have a Pro controller, but sometimes, you know, rather play in handheld mode where I got something up on the TV instead. It's not like I jailbroke my Switch to use the Joy-Cons. It's just like the Joy-Cons, you know, that's one of the things Nintendo was like, hey, check it out. You can put it in handheld mode while you got stuff up on the TV. They do make quality products, the Pro controller. Yeah, but like, you're gonna think that this is very like, gamers are never happy sort of discourse, but the Pro controller has great buttons, great triggers, great stick, truly awful D-pad. It's a good controller, don't get me wrong. The D-pad is really bad. It's impossible to play Tetris 99 on the D-pad. It is. It is. The Pro controller is bad for Tetris 99, which is bad because then you switch to the Joy-Cons, which are amazing. But if you get Joy-Con drift, you get the targeting glitch where it just goes beep, 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 for the whole match. They got like the worst of both worlds right now. Okay, stay in there. This YouTube's not gonna love this one. Gotta keep it going. Bad start. Oh my god, we dodged it. I should have healed. That's fair. That's fair. Easy punish. I mean, if you use the Pro controller, I got nothing against you. But it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Just because, like, I mean, like, not everybody uses the Switch for the same purposes, you know? Right now, if I'm playing, like, Clubhouse Chess or Mahjong or whatever, I don't really want to put that on, like, TV mode and use my, like, a GameCube or the Pro controller, you know what I mean? It seems kind of, like, kind of whack. You're still alive, huh? Too bad I will die. Just play Mahjong Soul on your phone? I do, but like several times a week the Mahjong Soul servers go down. Or you just get randomly disconnected from games. And I'm like, what the hell are they doing over there? It's mad. Like, it goes down more than PUBG. Damn! We got him. It's poised. That's what I meant. Dude happens way too often. Thought it was just me. I don't know what it is. Like, I would say 1 in 4 games I get disconnected. They used Brendan's server architecture. We squeezed through. We squeezed through. No, I will not play chess on iChess. Because I don't want to play people who want to be good at chess. I want to play people who think they're good but are actually not very good. Which is where the Clubhouse games is like, it's the absolute perfect mix right now. Let me in, please. Smurfer basically is smurfing. I will agree. And I love it. Quick sip. Stay in there. Oh my. The man only has like 4 attacks. Once we get over those 4 attacks, it's over for you, buddy. That hurt. That hurt me deep in my soul. Estus is low, but we got like 40 life gems. Crack it. Apparently, Zalay was a chess champion for the state of Ohio. Yeah, someone said that me and Zalay should play because we're at a similar skill level. And then they were like, his elo is somewhere between 1900 and 2100. And I was like, oh, absolutely not. Are you insane? I will get 10-0'd. 2100 is like extremely good. I don't remember the norms, but 2100 might be good enough to get like FIDE master status. It's got to be close if it's not in there. It might be 2200. But what if he draws 5 lands in a row? There is always the chance. Or if he accidentally touches a piece without saying, like, adjust. Then I could be like, you didn't say j'ajuste. Judge. This is a really cool section right here, where you have to jump over a salamander's leg to get to the boss. That's 3. That's 3 we're in. Slurp. Chess could use some pogificity. That's why I think, like, speed chess is the only way I could enjoy that game. I mean, like, genuinely, if you play in a real chess tournament, it's an incredible, like, energy sink and time sink. If you play 12 rounds, like John Cena, usually you might have, like, 90 minutes per game, and that's on the low side. Your whole weekend gets taken up. Then if you get 3.5 points out of a possible 12, you might as well just, like, throw that time in the shredder. You wasted your whole weekend. This one, we didn't get anywhere. They should add a gulag. That would be pretty sick. A gulag would be pretty sick. We're gonna get in there. Chess boxing would be pretty sick. I still don't really understand how it works. Like, in chess boxing, do you lose? Like, I assume you lose when you get checkmated or knocked out. But do you normally lose in chess because your brain has been hit so many times? You just have, like, a pounding headache. Nakamura's elo in Blitz is 2,900. That is absurd. Who's... I mean, I know it's Magnus Carlsen. What's Magnus Carlsen's highest lifetime elo? Has there been, like, an over 3,000 GM yet? Let me through, Salamander. 2976. Never higher than 3,000. They should really work on it. I mean, if... Like, 2976 is really good, but imagine if you could say, I'm over 3,000, dude. This seems bad. Your time is now. Yeah, Magnus. Maybe if you didn't take Fabio to 12 straight deliberate draws just to trap him in blitz chest, you could have hit that 3,000 mark, buddy. Come on. Just win, forehead. I would rather have 3,000 Twitch subs than 3,000 elo. I think, look, 3,000 Twitch subs is a pretty good time, don't get me wrong. But 3,000 elo, you could play yourself into being a multi-millionaire for sure. Now, if you hate chess but love video games, maybe it's not worth it for you. Is Carlsen considered the best chess player of all time? Probably. No, yes, yes. I mean, the only thing I could think of is that, like, Kasparov was very dominant, for sure. Can I hit you with a very controversial opinion? I think there are exceptions to this, to what I'm about to say. But in general, I think, for the most part, if you are the best at a sport or game in 2020, you're probably the best of all time. So, like, I think about hockey, and I'm like, Wayne Gretzky is insanely great, don't get me wrong. But if you took 2020 Conor McGregor, and by Conor McGregor I mean Connor McDavid, and you placed him in the 1970s NHL on the Edmonton Oilers with the same roster, I think there's a chance he might have done better. Like, there's the world population is so much higher. There's so many more people interested in the sport. I really believe that, like, because of the influx of competition, if you're the best at something in 2020, you're probably up in the conversation for, like, the best that there's ever been. Except for situations where there's, like, a truly preternatural, like, once-in-a-lifetime talent. So Gretzky might be there. Or if the game was changed, yeah. I mean, the hockey meta was different back then. But Wayne Gretzky, I mean, you ever see a goaltender in the 1970s? When they wear pads, they're actually thinner. So, like, I think if you're... if you're, like, the best soccer player of all time in 2020, I think you're the best ever. Now, I want to acknowledge, I think there's exceptions. But just due to the population of planet Earth growing. That's a new one. Good stuff. Stay in there. Name the exceptions. Maybe Wayne Gretzky. Don Bradman. Dude, left rolling is huge here. That was just the first botched roll. No! We were doing it! Okay, we gotta find our heal moment. We gotta find our healing moment. We didn't find our healing moment. That was a good fight, though. But, like, I look at it like... kind of like Twitch, right? Like, if you got big on Twitch in 2013... because you had a YouTube channel already, good for you. If you got big on Twitch independently in 2020, you're the greatest esports athlete of all time. You're just better. Thank you, thank you. I was the guy with the YouTube channel, yes, thank you. Just making terrible decisions, business-wise, to play Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls Randomizer was Pog. Oh, but don't play Randomizer. 4 people on Reddit were like, I hope he plays something else. Give those 4 people the keys to the map. They're the driver and the co-driver. All of a sudden, I'm on month 77 of Dark Souls 2. And everybody that requested Dark Souls 2, the same people that are writing essays whenever I criticize the shitty parts of Dark Souls 2, it's self-defeating prophecy. Yup. The squeaky wheel got the grease, and then the squeaky wheel is like, I'm greasy. Why am I so greasy? I don't want to be greasy anymore. Don't kill me, dude. The salt does make it better. But I stand by that. Like, I'll also stand by the fact that I think school for my daughter is going to be a lot harder than school for me. Like, Malf and I went to a school that had 80 people in our graduating class. With all due respect, it was not that hard to be the smartest person in our graduating class. Or at least in, like, the top 5. And then, you know, when you go to university and you meet the people that are at the university with you, you're like, holy shit, these people are geniuses. There is, like, if you were in my school, I would have been kicked way down the totem pole or had to work harder. But I think things are always getting a little bit harder in the sense that there's more competition, but maybe easier in the sense that, like, there's always you know, more resources, but you know, you're evaluated next to your peers, so I think it always gets harder. Okay. No, not the ankle, dude! Bruh. I'm begging you, dude. I'm just begging you. Are you gonna teach Luna how to code? Yeah, probably. I don't see why I wouldn't, really. I think learning that early is such a huge advantage. And if she decides, like, I don't care, big whoop. You know? That's her prerogative. What if she doesn't want to? Well, like, if she's 7, too bad. You know? We're gonna try to make it fun. And if she tries it for, like, 6 months and is like, I hate this, then fine, we're done. But, like, you know, we're gonna give it a shot at least. What if she becomes smarter than you? Well, that's like, that's the dream, dude. That's the dream. Okay. We're up here. I mean, this kid is gonna have some advantages, for sure. Kate is trilingual and is planning on teaching her all 3 languages, which again is kind of, it's the same thing with programming where I'm like, why wouldn't you? When you have a you know, a sponge-like brain, they won't even notice. They'll just wake up one day and be 5 and speak Japanese. A little bit of coding goes a long way. Nope, nope. Pop, pop, we're in there. Plus, like, esports training from yours truly. I'll have you know I have a high 4-figure lifetime money earnings from esports events. I mean, I'm not trying to, like, make this a thing. But also, we were pogging in Warzone today. For not having used Aim Beast in a week, we were fully pogged. That was some of the best Warzone I've ever played. Okay, okay. Good stuff. So far, so good. Nobody threw. Everybody, you just have different weeks, you know? Like last week, I did okay, but not up to the standards I was hoping for. This week, for whatever reason, it just hit me. Okay, Dan maybe threw a little bit with a lack of focus, but that's par for the course. Little hit, little hit. I forgot about that part. We can sip real quick. He's gonna back it up. Please tell me you don't have a phase 2. And instead your phase 2 is just if you get me on that blood attack. There. Tyson! Oh, that's a new one. Shouldn't have done that one. That's the one that'll keep you up at night. No! We're in there, boys. You hear that, DoorDash? I don't need your goddamn burrito. True strength comes from within. Can't believe I was about to pay $19.50 and then wait 40 minutes for a $10 burrito. I honestly feel in the last half hour my IQ has gone up at least 20 points. Ryan made it to live stream fail again today. Is it a good clip? I thought I had some good clips today. Live stream fail has been very nice to me, for the most part. I know that they have this a reputation, but most of the time, my clips go onto live stream fails. People are like, well, like, 19 out of 20 comments are like, this clip's pretty funny. Or that it's an inside joke about haha egg. And then the other 5% thinks that, like, I spend all of my time trying to set up this stuff and then making it look unintentional when it happens. Like when the Malcolm McDowell one happened in Deadly Premonition 2, a couple of dudes were like, must have taken him a long time to prepare for this one. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You think I'm, you think I'm, like, playing through the whole game and then writing jokes down and then, like, going through the script when we actually play it live? That's a lot of work, dude. You know I get paid to just, like, talk about anything and play video games, right? Yeah. Like, why screw it up for myself by adding in real work? Whoa, you son of a bitch! I'm healing. Whatever, you're just the same dude. You just got a slightly larger sword. Big whoop. Good sip, good sip. Please tell me this isn't the last boss. It's the last boss of this DLC. But then there's another DLC. No, there's two, well, there's a few bosses in the main game left. There's the two bosses you fight at the very end, and then also Dark Lurker. And Ancient Dragon, that's right, I forgot about Ancient Dragon. And Vendrick. Son of a bitch, dude. It never ends. What's the best programming language to learn? I always, to learn first, I guess. I always answer this question with another question. Or an aside, rather. I think it depends how you want to learn. There's no reason to if you've never learned how to program, there's no reason to be like, should I learn Fortran? And the answer to that is no. But should I learn Python versus C#? Like, you don't have to learn everything or anything about any of the languages before you start learning them, because it genuinely does not matter for your purposes. However, what I would think about is how do you want to learn? You know, and what do you want to do? If you want to learn how to make websites or anything online, you should probably learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you want to not do that, if you don't want to do anything web-related, then the answer, I would say, honestly, is just find a highly recommended course, whether it's free or paid, on something like, I'm trying to think of the big websites, like Pluralsight, and just find, like, the highest rated beginner programming class and go with that. The quality of the course is going to matter a lot more than the language specifically that it uses. And if you learn the basics of, like, any language, you can port that over to another language very, very easily most of the time. Let me in, dude. Of course, yes, the real answer is C#, which is the best combination of high performance but also accessibility. We're in, boys. He stalled! He stutter-stepped it! Normally he eats it instantaneously. My first class was C++, and it made me quit my major. Look, C++, I took a couple C++ classes in my education. They were pretty hard relative to some of the other language classes, for sure. But they were good because the teacher was good. The second Java class I took sucked my will to live. The professor was so bad that I didn't go like, I'm quitting. But what I did do is go, this wasn't fun anymore, and I already have, like, a job. So maybe I'll take a semester off. And then I took a semester off, and then I got into working out, which took all that time that I was previously using for school. And then I've been out of it for like a year and a half, so I haven't come back, and we're having a kid. So, just by sapping my will to live, it did take my, it took my zeal for that part of the education away, for sure. Not a good teacher. Go, 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 go. No, I'm not gonna put the professor on blast. I will say my C++ professor did. He also made us print out our assignments, like the code written in the assignments on the printer, and then hand that in, which is truly insane. At a school that teaches anything related to technology, having your teacher do that is truly just unbelievable. How old was he? At least mid to late 60s. Oh, you got me. We're sipping. As long as you have no hesitation on your sip, you're okay. But I had another teacher who was, again, minimum in his 60s. And he was actually really cool. He was my C# teacher. Dude, I had another professor, and because he's more easily identifiable, I'm not gonna say how I felt about his teaching, but I was like, the other day, I was like, I wonder what that guy's up to now. And I Googled him, and he was on Dragon's Den, like the Canadian version of Shark Tank. Like 2 years ago, and he got funded. And let's just say, I was a little surprised. Oh, he's so fast! It was Dan Giesling in his Gul'dan shower. How do you feel about this boss? He's fine. This boss is okay. I mean, actually, I think he's better than okay. I think he's fun. But, the run is truly heinous. The boss himself seems okay. Maybe even better than okay. That is the thing that I wonder about CS. Umbral Optimatum. Like, we have, like, there's one professor that was really good at my school. Like, he's an amazing professor. But he also spent, like, a lot of time talking business to us. And I was like, I don't really want to be rude, but I feel like if you were a great source of information on business, you wouldn't be teaching the night class intro to web development. You would be, like, living in Santa Monica, California right now or something. Not to be rude, because I think it was good advice, but I was also like, I don't know if it's coming from a position of... And it was like the same thing with, like our C#, or not our C#, but the C++ professor who made us, like, hand things in on assignments, or on paper, and, you know, he was like, well, if you try to do this in the industry, you're gonna get, you know, bodied. And I was like, how do you know? I looked at your faculty page. You've been teaching in this school full-time for, like, 35 years. Oh. It's not meant to be rude. I'm just more like, you gotta give me a better example than, like, they don't do this in industry. Because your profile is just out there. Okay, quick sip. Anyway, I'm just kind of being a jerk, I suppose. Ah! That's no good. That's no good. The hitbox is pretty gross. But dude, imagine how good we'll feel if we beat this boss, dude. And then on Thursday, we can start a brand new DLC. Chat, can I ask you a beard question, by the way? Where the heck do you shave your beard? Because, like, I Googled it, and it was like, you're supposed to put, like, 2 fingers under your Adam's apple, and then, like, shave a line like that. And I was doing it, and I was like, it really made my beard come down to, like, here, almost. And I was like, that does not seem right. But then if you... I've shaved a beard before and gone, like, higher. And when you shave it higher, it looks truly cursed. So that whenever I shave it too high, I'm just like, well, I guess not this week. And then I just shave it all off. But I thought this one worked pretty well. So I decided to roll with it. Although I do have to be honest, I did shave, like, I shaved off a little piece of my sideburns, which is why I'm happy I'm wearing headphones. But because I'm a genetic, what's the word I'm looking for here? Because I have vestigial genetics, my hair grows so fast that it will be unnoticeable pretty soon. Ronnie Coleman. He's a genetic freak. Lightweight, baby! Oh. They should really just make, like, a scarf that shaves a perfect neckline for you. Like a smart scarf. What? How do you decide where your sideburns end and your head begins? Honestly, it's the glasses. It's a very convenient kind of easy marker. Oh my god, we lived. So much faster, dude. Oh, you'd be nervous to try the scarf? Come on, man. It's 2020. There's no danger in the world anymore. Everything's has corners sanded off. It's all baby-proofed and made of soft Velcro. A little light on Estes here. Beauty. They should make pants that wipe your butt after you pull them up. Now we're talking. And if they could just send my underwear straight in for dry cleaning, that would be sick too. That was a terrible use of green. We got very lucky. Oh! Stay greened. Stay greened. I would say, next attempt, Estus. Quick Estus, and then switch to your life gems, just in case. No! I was so early! I was so early! Alright, stay in there. There's a chance. There's still a chance. You got a life gem for sure, and then just stay in there. He stalled. He stalled on me. We're gonna get there, dude. We're gonna get there. We're so close. If we didn't get caught by the stab, he would be dead. I really don't see this as work. I'm very happy to just I think I'm getting you know what is a great metaphor for this? Beating this boss and Fume Night today is like paying off your mortgage early. Do I really save much in the long term? In a broad sense, not really. You know, you might save a couple of percentage points overall. But on a psychological level, getting that load off of your shoulder is incredible. I imagine. So if we could just get a little bit ahead of Dark Souls 2 before Thursday, that would be a dream come true. That would be enough for me. Don't ask for a tighter load. Ask for broader shoulders. Yeah, or a bigger mouth. Sorry, that was gross. I deserve that one. Is there a reason you live in a major city, financially speaking? Well, like, there's no good economic reason for it, for sure. Which is what people always ask. It gets asked a lot. The real answer is just no, except that it's nice. Like, I'll tell you, this is not an insult to Malf at all. Like, Malf's long-term plan, I don't believe, is to stay in Toronto forever. But, like, to pay Vancouver prices and live in a Canadian city that had a real winter, I look at you like you're insane. You're not insane, you're just different, you know? We got different preferences. But, like, Vancouver, year-round, the weather is beautiful. I mean, it's just a nice city, really. Good to bike in. Great food. It's beautiful, like both architecturally and from a natural sense. So yeah, you're on the ocean. I mean, it's very nice. You pay a big premium to live there for sure, though. Culturally, I like the city. Is Corona controlled over there? It's pretty good. You know, there's been a few more cases lately, but I see it as, like, the necessary part of... Like, as things are gradually opening up, inevitably cases are going to grow at least a little bit. And then they kind of put the brakes on, and then they come down a little bit, and then they ratchet the opening a little bit more, and... I think it's been like, BC... Look, I'm going to be rude to the rest of Canada, okay? There's only like 4 provinces in Canada where you can really judge them on the same level for their public health outreach. It's Ontario, Quebec, Alberta, and BC. Literally, that's like 85% of the Canadian population. I don't mean offense to anybody else, but like if I'm like, BC handled it the best, people are like, what about Nunavut? Yeah, I'm like, there's 100 people in Nunavut, and the population density is like, you know, 2 per square kilometer, you know? We got, like, different parameters that we should be evaluating ourselves on. But, I think compared to Ontario, Quebec, and Alberta, BC handled it really well. Alberta's handling it fine. Ontario and Quebec, you know, I mean, now it's, like, it's more political, I guess, but I was surprised by, how well Ontario handled it. I think my hunch would have been that it could have been a sincere disaster, but it's actually been like all right. But I'm really surprised, and I just saw this in chat, but I'm really surprised at how well BC did, because it was like highly primed to be, you know, annihilated. We got a major international airport with tons of travel from like the hot spots. Incredible hitbox. Not to mention, like, I'm not just talking about, like, China and Europe. I'm also talking about, like, you know, when it... Just kill me. when it popped off in Washington. Like, that was, like, the first real outbreak in the U.S. I was like, we're fucked. I thought we were going to get hit real hard. Especially because, like, when we first had our first pregnancy appointments, before we even announced that we were pregnant, because you only do that, like, 3 months in. We went to the doctor, and then, like, I looked at my phone, and it was like, hey, there's been, like... Apparently there was a rumor on WeChat, which is, like, a Chinese language social network, that someone at... TNT Supermarkets, which is a huge supermarket chain in Vancouver for like Asian groceries, tested positive, and they were like, here's the locations they've been to in the past week. And I was like, fuck, dude. We've been to like 8 of those 11 locations in the past 2 weeks. So I was genuinely like a little afraid, or at least anxious, in the first couple of months, but then it's sort of like, it never hit as hard as it seemed like it would hit here. So I'm thankful for that. I'm so stunned, dude. He stalled me again! So yeah, it's surprisingly kind of fine here. We're gonna make this, dude. I know we're gonna make this. Myrtle Beach gets more international travel than any city in Canada. It's one of those things that sounds believable, but I'm gonna say I disbelieve it. I know Myrtle Beach, it's a serious tourist destination, but internationally, really? Like, people from Canada will go to Myrtle Beach, but are people really like, I live in the south of France, I'm gonna go to Myrtle Beach for my vacation? I'm like, presumably, I gotta believe that Toronto gets more international tourists than Myrtle Beach. I'm not saying Vancouver does, but I gotta believe that Toronto gets more tourists than Myrtle Beach. But I will say, last year on one of the community days for Pokemon Go, there was somebody just walking around really loudly talking on their cellular telephone, and they were going, bro, this place freaking sucks. There's only like 3 Pokemon stops here. It's got less Pokemon stops than Huntington Beach. And literally like the 500 people that were within earshot of them just looked at them like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you go back to Huntington Beach then, bitch? Oh, I'm powered up. Jesus Christ, Dex. Anyway, Canada as a whole only gets 7 million more tourists than Myrtle Beach. Honestly, I'm 0% offended. I mean, the less tourists, the better. However, I'm more just like, that's an incredibly useful piece of intel. And just not useful, maybe, but it's incredibly interesting. I would not have thought Myrtle Beach got more international tourists than my entire country. Now, I would hazard to guess most of those tourists are Canadian. Or at least I would guess the largest plurality of international tourists for Myrtle Beach come from Canada. Oh, that one hurt. I was late on the sip, too. That's dangerous! Not myrtly enough for the Myrtle Club? Myrtle Beach has many, how do you say, crime-prone people. Crime-prone. I like that. They're not criminals, but they do have a certain predilection for crimes. It's like they're not, at their core, they're not criminals, but they do crimes sometimes. Yeah, what kind of crimes are we talking about here? We talking about violent crimes, or are we talking about, like, embezzlement? I wouldn't mind visiting a place that's, like, big on embezzlement. As a tourist, that doesn't seem like it would affect me that much. If there was a rash of embezzlements going on, or some grand larceny. You would love Macau? I don't know if I would love Macau. That's like Asian Monaco, right? It's like gambling enclave. Okay. It's Chinese Las Vegas, about 100 times bigger. My girlfriend is next to me watching and took one look at this map and said it looks like ass. Your girlfriend has a more astute observation about Dark Souls 2 than literally like 9 out of 10 professional game critics in 2014, myself included. She is smarter now than I was 6 years ago. Without a doubt. Look at how smooth we're getting that line, though. Yeet. And, yeet. He just ran with his bow out, dude. That's a Trackmania line. Hell yeah. Glunk. He do be glunkin'. He do be glunkin'. Alright. This one's for all the marbles. Chad, did you know they made a live-action Akagi? Kate found it on Crunchyroll last night. It's truly cursed. It looks like it was filmed by, like, a mid-sized YouTube channel. Like mine. It's extremely not good. What is Akagi? Yes, it's a mahjong anime. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. It's pretty big. Better or worse than Dragon Slayer Doppelganger? It's honestly like in the ballpark. It's pretty bad. I also think the Akagi anime is pretty bad, but I'm willing to say that maybe part of it is that I don't understand that maybe it's pseudo-ironic. I can't tell if it's meant to be played straight or not. It's a little ridiculous. No, I didn't know he was gonna do that, dude. Didn't know he was gonna do that. How many attempts are we getting? I don't know. I have to be out by 7:30 so that I can publish my videos before 8 and thus be out of work by 8 p.m. So I'm not saying we have another hour and 20 minutes, but there's a chance. Is it 8 p.m. lunchtime? No, 8 p.m. is it's when I like to finish my work so I can have some free time. Because even like your free time doesn't even start being free time for like at least an hour after you get it. So you're really only, like, if you finish work at 8, you got, like, life work that takes an hour. You know, you gotta, like, go buy groceries or cook or vacuum or do dishes or whatever. You know, go set up the car seat and, you know, make sure everything's tidy. And then maybe at like 9, we'll get some free time. Which is still pretty good, because I don't go to bed until like 12:30, but... Yahoo? What is this, a content creator with free time? Well, I'll tell you straight up, I think that streamers have a good reason for their work and life being imbalanced. Because as you can see from what we're doing right now, it's very easy to just stay live way longer than you should. When what would really benefit you is probably setting a consistent, like, log off time. I think that when I see a streamer be like, I don't have time for stuff, I'm like, I disagree, but I understand. When I see a YouTuber be like, I'm so busy, I'm like, doing what? I'm one of you. And, like, I'm busy. I'm putting out a lot more stuff than you are. You're probably putting a little bit more work into it, don't get me wrong. What is that attack? They edit? Not all of them edit, dude. Not all of them edit. I'm not talking about Rocket Jump. I'm talking about, like, Games with John that publish, like, 1 video a day. It's 10 minutes and 1 second long with 2 mid-rolls. And they're like, I don't have time to do anything. And I'm like, I don't know I don't know what your home life is like, so that I'm not disbelieving you. I'm just like, I don't see why. Terrible performance there. Good timing. Okay, we can fight this. We can still fight this. It's a little loud. Whoa! Like, I do feel like from an audio standpoint, I'm at a disadvantage. Never mind. I mean, we talk about it on Check the Wire a lot. Like, I think that a lot of content creators are extremely bad with time management. But I mean, I got my own theories on that stuff. I also think that, like, if you work a 12-hour day that is just streaming, your relaxation time is not even, like, relaxation. Like, you finish work, you're so mentally drained, you need, like, half an hour to just, like, get back up to baseline. You eat something, and by the time you're ready to, like, do anything, you know, your free time's already been sucked up. Not to say that doesn't happen in other hard jobs, but I think, like, you always need a little bit more free time than you think. Like, if you want to have 2 hours of free time, you gotta take 2.5 to 3 hours off. Okay, that could have gone worse. What if I want free time but I sleep instead? Well, I think, like, sleeping is a great use of your free time. What is not is, like, spending 2 hours on Reddit and Twitter being pissed off and then getting, like, 6 hours of sleep instead of 8. I feel attacked. It's a hard habit to break. Even still, like, sometimes I will just be, like, mindlessly, I guess it's doom scrolling. Like, doom scrolling through Twitter. Like, look at this idiot. Look at this moron. I gotta stop myself and be like, just do something. Okay. Quick sip, quick sip, quick sip, quick sip. Let's go. Alright. We can fight him. Quick bops. Quick bops. Too early. He stutter stepped me. That's the last time. That's the last time you're gonna get me. I hope you enjoyed it, because that's the last time. What's wrong with your finger? What's wrong with my finger? Looks pretty normal to me. It's kind of bent. What do you mean? It's as big as your head? Final digit bends a little too much? What are you talking about? Like this? It's just a normal finger. What the Christ? Let me in. It's too bent. It's probably from the bullshit way I have to hold this controller to run and use the camera at the same time, dude. You know, just do it. I got stuck on the salamander. I never knew streamer had a cursed finger. Well, it's like, have you ever seen that Tim the Tap Man clip where he shows off the dent on his skull and he thinks it's his headphones that have done it? It's a great clip. People they asked me many times, do you have a dent on your head because of your headphones? I don't think it's the headphones that dented it. I think it's a natural dent, or it's a temporary dent. But I definitely get like a little headphone line that comes around. It's merely a temporary dent. Al dente? Dude, last night. So normally when we get like our meal, it's not a meal prep service, you know what I'm talking about. HelloFresh, Blue Apron, etc., etc. Normally when we get that, we have a very simple division of labor. I was gonna say labor, which would have been great if it was a seafood-based dish, but things that are non-pasta, I cook. Things that are pasta, Kate cooks. Alas, exactly. She was streaming late yesterday, and all we had left was a pasta dish. So I said, you know, fine, I'll do it myself. And I cooked a sausage and pepper linguine. And usually, I'm still working on my pasta game. It turned out insanely good. Kate was like, this is restaurant quality. And for once, she wasn't just lying to make me feel better about how good the cooking tasted. But it was really good. It was delicious. Now you also cook the pasta? It depends. Depends how she's feeling, really. This week we got a little, like, it's like zucchini and sausage pizza. Two very phallic pizza ingredients. But it sounds good. Usually the homemade pizzas turn out real good. And then it's gnocchi bolognese, which is going to be delicious because gnocchi is like just maybe one of the top 3 pastas on the market. And then it's like a butternut squash ravioli, which I'll be honest, wouldn't be my first choice, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. Nope. Here we go. There you go. Thank you. Please give me some time. Nope. Pasta tier list. I mean, stuffed pastas are high tier. Ravioli, help, 1 second. Ravioli, tortellini. Like, tortellini is one of the best price to delicious foods on the market. I truly believe it. Tortellini is pretty cheap and way more delicious than it has any right to be. Let's go. But then, like, Kate and I were at the grocery store, and she was craving pasta. And I was like, we could just get some tortellini if you wanted. They didn't have any tortellini. Instead, they had, like... I'm gonna butcher this. But it was called, like, sacciate. Like satchel. And it was like a little bagged pasta. It was like a bag of noodle with filling inside of the bag. It was delicious. You can probably find the name. It is called sacciato. I told you. It's like instead of a box of ravioli, like the ravioli is a square, imagine the ravioli was bag shaped. That's what it was like. Sacciato. It's good, dude. Oh, I didn't even know you were doing anything. I thought you were taking some time for yourself. This is a good fight. So far, good fight. Give me some green. I have no idea what a bag looks like if there's no opening. Well, it's almost like it was like a drawstring bag. Made of noodle. It's weird. Oh, quick sip, quick sip, quick sip. The bag was made of noodles. Well, noodle, really. The music, dude. The music is so good. Quick sip. We're in here, dude. We're in here. It's a good fight. Always a little spiced on that one. Keep talking about pasta. For, like, more traditional noodles... No! I do like linguine. Previously been persuaded to munch on some penne. That hurt so bad. We're gonna get there, dude. We're gonna get there. Oh, gnocchi is so good, though. So good. It's really called Sachet Tony. It sounds like a mob henchman who kills people with a bag. Like, I'm gonna say something a little bit minkus, okay? But sometimes when we're making gnocchi, you know, like, so it comes in like a wet bag you keep in the fridge. And it's made of basically like potatoes. So you're supposed to take it out of the bag and you either boil it or fry it. I've never boiled it, but you know, you like saute it in butter. Sometimes I'll just eat one of the cold gnocchis. And it's still good. I won't eat all of the cold. I won't eat them all cold. That's insanity. But I'll eat one of the cold gnocchis, and it's like, it's delicious. It's still delicious. You have a problem with cold food? I do love cold foods. Not ice cold, but like fridge cool. I love eating cold foods. Yeah, it's actually like the opposite of a problem. You're exactly correct. And it's, if anything, it's a solution. It's why I save so much time on my lunchtime meals. I honestly think it started in, because I used to be like a pretty picky eater. I think it started in university when I would like, sometimes on Fridays I would go out for dinner with my parents, get some Thai food, and then I would take my leftovers home and put them in the fridge and just get absolutely hammered. And then would, you know, wake up at 10 a.m. on Saturday and just be like dried out and starving and vitamin deficient and just like a husk of a human being, right? And then I would be like, well, I need nutrients inside of me immediately. So I would eat the leftovers cold out of the fridge. Cold, you know, coconut, curry, doesn't matter. Cold bamboo shoots, give me whatever. And I think that made it to the point where I was like, this is pretty good. Not that I would recommend it. Get in my belly. Wait, you were still on this boss. I was in the car for an hour and a half. Were you driving or just like needed to change the scenery? What do you mean in the car? Just vibing? Yeah, what kind of car? Is it a Ford? Anyway, like I honestly, if you told me I've been on this boss for 45 minutes, I would agree. If you told me I've been on this boss for 2 hours, I would believe you as well. Really, like what's happening right now is just, I know this part sucks. Mostly the run-up. The fight's kind of fun. But like, once we get it done, it's like doing an assignment you don't want to do. Okay? If you've already gotten, maybe you thought the assignment was going to take you 4 hours, and you're 6 hours in, and you still got 3 hours to go. You'd still rather finish it than take a break. You know what I mean? You'd rather knock it out so it's done than have it hanging over your head. That hurts, though. I'd take a break and finish tomorrow. Yeah, well, when you're finishing your assignment tomorrow, I'm already working on the next assignment. Oh, wait, I finished it. When are you going to do that assignment? Next Friday? I already got my scholarship to Harvard. Oh, I'll go to college in September. Congratulations. In September? Secretary General of the United Nations. And what are you doing? Med school? Okay. Some people want to make something of their lives. And that's why I gotta beat this Dark Souls 2 DLC. The squad stream is great. Both people are playing bad sequels. Come on. Dark Souls 2, sure. Does anyone out there really, like, bring back Dota 1? I mean, I know the answer. is probably some, but it can't be the majority. There's people who played Dota 1 are like in their 50s now. That's the other thing. Dota 2 is not a sequel. It's the first game in the Dota 2 franchise. Dota and Dota 2 are the same cinematic universe. But separate SKUs. Not today. Dota 2, Dota 2. Templar Assassin, Templar Assassin, Templar Assassin, Templar Assassin. Dota 2! Bad sip. Good sip. Dota 2, Dota 2. Malfurion, Malfurion, Malfurion. Dota 2. Is that a Ray Sipes reference? Hell yeah, brother. Although I think I should stop quoting Ray Sipe. I don't know if I want to enable Ray Sipe. But the Dota 2 video is really good. Artifact had to be one of the biggest misses of the last decade. It's up there. Artifact, Battleborn, Anthem, Dark Souls 2. Crucible? It's the Amazon one, right? Vanguard? I forgot what Vanguard was, but it rings a bell. It is the Valorant anti-cheat. Yeah, Crucible, they unreleased it, which is very rare. That they released it, paid a bunch of streamers to play it, then they cut 2 of the 3 modes so that they could actually fill the other modes' queues, and then they went like, we're taking this shit back in a beta. Which, I mean, is better than just releasing it, like, into a market that nobody really cares about it, I guess, but... you might as well try to make it work. You never know. Final Fantasy XIV came out and it was like kind of garbage. And then it, you know, they took a couple of years off, brought it out again, and it's considered like one of the best MMOs ever made now. You never know. I'm trying to think. There's a couple, I mean, there's a lot of... Watch Dogs 1 is kind of a disaster, I guess. I like it decently. But it promised more, that's for sure. Mass Effect Andromeda. Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah. Duke Nukem Forever is insanely bad. It's like I'd want to kill the enemies because it makes the run-up better, but in my heart of hearts, I actually believe I'm one away from beating this boss. Did you guys see that they're running Night Trap at SGDQ this year? Oh, baby. Take some of the books out of your character's massive backpack. Thank you. Thank you for saying you enjoy my Trackmania videos a lot. I appreciate it. It's a fun game. Like, okay, so Night Trap, I'm sure the speedrun is gonna be amazing. But if you really want to impress me, a double switch speedrun would be incredible. Because Night Trap is not hard. It's hard when you don't know when to press the buttons. Double switch, even if you know when to press the buttons, is like trying to play Rock Band on Super Expert. The old man just doesn't get it, does he? Uppercut straight to the penile region. Okay. Okay, I should have seen that second one coming. You're gonna jump backwards? I'm lucky to be alive. Okay, bait an attack. Drink up. Now we're in there. Single punch. Good stuff. Oh, he doesn't always stutter step. Okay, that one's easy enough. We're whittling. We're whittling. We're carving a little train whistle out of a piece of pine. Lucky me. One does not simply whittle a train whistle with a single swing of the craftsman's blade. You gotta do it slice by slice. Alright, that's the first time we've been hit by that. I'm not sweating it. Let's sip up. Let's stay frosty here. Slice by slice. There we go. I would say now we have the aperture. That's very frustrating, because like in my world, that's a dodge. Quick sips. Okay, I'm over it. I'm over it. I tried to chop up the whole train whistle in a single swing. You're not wrong. It's super impressive how you stuck with the stasis this whole time. I mean, it's really like one of my greatest skill sets for certain is tenacity. I have the power to stick at something for a long, long time. Sometimes it's very dumb. I don't always think it's an advantage. A lot of times I think it's a disadvantage. Like if I had pivoted to Fortnite and dumped Isaac in 2016, oh baby. I wouldn't even have to stream anymore. Creator code revenue. Be living next to Notch. Or Josh, if our mutual friend actually listened to me in 2010 and started that Minecraft podcast instead of saying, it's too late, I think the Minecraft wave has probably gone by. You ever think of what our lives would be like if we had actually convinced him to make that podcast? He'd be like Captain Sparkles now or something. All you had to do was show up back then. I'm proof positive of that. Alright. This is the one, dude. Up on the hill, they think I'm okay. So they... that's true. My demographic would be much more like 12-year-olds than 30-year-olds. I gotta be honest. Like, you know, I think it's natural to get annoyed with chat sometimes. Every streamer does to varying degrees. If my chat was exclusively 12-year-olds, I would definitely hate my life. This is a bad habit, by the way. I don't want to glorify this. But when someone who's like 31, this is not meant for Josh. I just chose it because I'm 31. When someone who is 31 acts their age, I'm like, why are you so juvenile? Can you imagine what it would be like if I had to deal with a chat full of actual preteens? Yo! Oh, it's Sipadelphia. Oh, no. Okay, Sipadelphia. Sipsburg. Sipsbar. Sipsylvania. Okay. Mississippi. Sipzuri. Gotta take the train down to Smack Lewis. Oh, you almost got me there. Instead, I went to Dodge City. Stay frosty, green. Keep that green up. No! Yo, that's hacking. You hacked me. Homer Simpson. Okay, another sip. Another sip. Still got 3 Estos. That's not that bad. I can't believe the teleport, dude. It's alright, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, dude. Go ahead, you're scared. You're gonna back it up. You're backing it up, you can't handle the Smokadelphia. Raiding the perineum. That's good stuff. Keep it up. Take him to Smokelahoma. Quick sip. That's a Sipadelphia right there. Ooh, almost got me. That was a greedy smack. Unpunished. Oh! We burned off his buff. I didn't know you could do that, dude. He ran out of juice. Smackadelphia. Smackadelphia. Stay on him. Stay on him. You roll away on that one. Stay on him. Ladies and gentlemen, all you had to do was rattle him. All you had to do was knock him off his mojo. Ooh, hey, don't look up my dress, you pervert. Craig Dota, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. We've done it.